Education is important, but getting education from the right place is even more important. So when we plan to do our first graduation degree or something like that, or we are planning for higher education, the first thing comes to mind, from where? And that's why we need to choose the right sort of university for our academic programs. So in this particular video, we are going to talk about that what are the key different factors that you should consider before getting admission into a specific kind of program in a particular university. Now, the point is that whenever we are choosing a particular university program, that particular program may offer different sorts of explorations, the kind of exposures to you. But the point is, whenever we are going to take admission, we don't do our own research. We usually depend on the kind of colleagues, friends, parents, neighbors, or some sort of relatives. So it's a kind of dangerous trend because we just go by the word of mouth, but it is not at all true in most of the cases. So that's why, for example, you might be thinking that a particular kind of university is good in comparison to other, but it is not always true that all the programs offered by a particular university are good than its competitor. So that's why you should do your own research that in which particular university, which particular course is good and all those related sort of things. In this particular video, we are going to talk about all those sort of things and we'll try to find some of the relative answers. So let's start. Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar. And today we are going to focus on the specific or the key tips or the key sort of reasons that you should consider before taking admission into a particular university or in a particular course. Now the thing is that there are so many different sort of blogs and the different sorts of articles are available. But I have chosen some of the key established institutions or some of the very well-known websites articles which are very much related to this particular topic. And I'm not saying that only restricted to this much detail. You can do your own research, as I told you just 2 minutes before. So go on to different places, read different articles, discuss with your friends, debate with different people, join the mailing list of Google, and sort of different thing or the almost everything possible that you can do at your website, and then make your decision. So we are starting with our current possibilities. So we have taken the 3 different website links, and there we are going to have or explore some of the related articles or blogs. So the first in the number is topuniversities.com. It is a kind of website offering the QS ranking. And here we are going to see 6 tips which are going to make you familiar with the kind of choice of a particular right university. So the first tip is that make sure you have chosen the right subject. It's very important because if you are choosing a particular kind of university program, then if it is not related to your interest subject, then obviously it's of no use. Ultimately, the passion must be behind before starting a particular study or before choosing a particular program in a particular university. So choose the right subject, and if a particular university is not offering that subject, then obviously that university goes out of your list. Secondly, you have the second option, that is consult university rankings. Always go through the university rankings from different frameworks or the different institutions. They may come up with the different sorts of ranking frameworks, but it is not always true that one ranking framework is better than other or something like that. One ranking framework might be dependent on some sort of criteria other on the others. So similar way, you need to do the different ranking frameworks evaluation, and then you need to decide ultimately which particular university ranking is getting placed at what particular place, and either a particular university ranking is true up to the place or not. Thirdly, you have the find out what the university library is like. University is all about education, and it's not about all about education, but ultimately education is very vast term. It encompasses the kind of extracurricular exposure, it encompasses the core subject teaching, it includes the kind of discussions you have with your peers or colleagues, and sort of multiple other things. So similar way, when you enter into a particular library university, you must see its library, because ultimately library is the place where you'll find a lot of books which are going to offer you a lot of exposure in terms of education, in terms of other things. So that's why university library is a very important thing. The fourth point is that check the course content. Ultimately, it is important because most of the universities are running programs which are not up to date. So if you are running a old syllabus, or if you are running, you are just reading the sort of things which are not as of now being used in industries or something like that, then that particular content might not be as much useful as other universities which are offering the state-of-the-art content. Moving on to the next point, we have that see what sports and the societies are on the offer. As I told you that education is not just about the core bookish thing. It offers you a lot of exposure, and that's why you need to consider what sort of universities or what sort of sports or the kind of societies are available out there. Most of the established institutions have number of societies, including the robotics, the AI, the sort of machine learning, IoT, etc. These are the core means related to your study. Additionally, they have the cultural societies, they have the some drama societies or sort of thing. So a well mix of science and art makes a kind of complete exposure for you. So that you should see also. Then we have the find out what about the student accommodation. So it is also very important because the comfort stay is very much important. If you are not comfortable in yourself, then how you are going to study well? So that's why the right sort of accommodation, including the your coding, lodging, etc., everything is very much important. You should take care of all this. So see all these 6 points as part of this topuniversities.com article, and hopefully you'll find the right university. Moving on, we have the next article from the University of Waterloo webpage, and here we have that they have created this particular article with respect to undergraduate programs, but obviously it is not only for undergraduate program. With respect to any program, you need to choose some of the key factors. So they have discussed in 9 factors while choosing a particular university. First factor, what they are saying, obviously academics. So a university is always the right choice for you if they are offering the right sort of academics and the right sorts of policies are there. So when we say academics, what does it mean? It means that what are the different sorts of things with respect to education, such as what sort of degrees they are offering, like the law, business, some sort of computer programs, or etc. etc. Additionally, there are different sorts of admission requirements. So what are the kind of key requirements? Do you fulfill them? If you not, then how can you fulfill them? What sort of research you are going to have, the kind of exposure with respect to research you are going to have. Additionally, if they are means the particular university is offering some sort of student exchange program, faculty exchange programs, kind of things. If they are offering, then it becomes a very good choice for you. Secondly, you have the location. It is very much important because many times you are far from home, but you don't feel like far from home because the location is too good, the kind of atmosphere is too good. So these sort of things you should also consider that where you are living, and it becomes very much important because if the surrounding is live, then you can go out of the campus and you can just chill. So you can have a lot of things out there, and then you can enjoy the sort of things that you are up to your temperament. So you can go and have exposure to the different things like the food, the kind of different sorts of hiking, etc., and other things. So that's why some of the people do like the sort of hilly place universities or something like that if you are interested in mountains and all. So location becomes an important parameter. Thirdly, the campus look and feel. It is quite important and gets quite related with this location part. So if the location is good, obviously you will feel good. Additionally, in addition to the location, the campus look and the feel is also important because outside campus, it is very good. But inside campus, if the sufficient kind of facilities are not available, then obviously it becomes a challenge for you to sustain. So that's why you may choose whether you want to stay in an urban campus or in a kind of rural campus. Additionally, what sort of different surroundings and the facilities are supported in terms of the inner facilities which are provided by the university. Additionally, you can see that what sort of sports and the sort of things are done in an annual basis, so that how you feel, how the students feel actually about the university, and you can interact with the current and the past students to get a better idea about it. Then where to live? When suppose you are not staying in the hostels, then this question becomes very much important because ultimately you need to decide where you are supposed to live. So if there is no good place in the surroundings, then it becomes quite difficult sometimes because many times the universities are not in the urban areas. So that's why finding the right place to live becomes a kind of challenge. So in addition to this, there are some other questions like, do you need some additional accessories and the kind of facilities, including the laundry, the kind of computing facilities, the kind of gaming facilities? Do you need a kind of roommate just to have a fair exchange of services and at discounted prices, obviously? and the milling, and you have some of the other facilities, including like the printing, etc. So all these facilities need to be taken care of while you are living outside. But if you are within the campus, most probably all these things will be taken care of by the management of the institute. So that's important. Then the food, very, very, very important, because ultimately, for example, if I give the example of Indian universities, then most of the North Indian universities, they don't offer very much South Indian food, and that's why South Indian students struggle there. And vice versa is also quite true. So it happens a lot, because you may have 1 or 2 day North Indian dishes in South Indian universities, and vice versa. But this 1 or 2 day accommodation is not going to make you sustain for a long period of time, especially in your PhD programs or something like that. So you need to take care of your food by yourself, but it's not possible, because most of the time you are engaged in this fooding activity only. So that's why you need to take care of this thing also. And while you are going for having a look of the university before admission, then just go to canteen or the mess and check this factor also, that what sort of food they are offering, and what are the different menus, what are the sort of things that you like, are they on the menu, and what are the different other places in addition to the mess and canteen where you can go and just fetch a little snack. So that's the fine point. Then we have the finances. Obviously, if you are going to take the admission, you need to take care of your finances. If you are not having the funding, the right sort of funding from your hand, means you have from your parents in your hands, then obviously you need to take care of the finances with the help of some funding agency or some bank. Then what are the sort of interest rates and sort of other things? All these things you need to take care of. And then if everything is falling into place, then you are good to go. Moving on, we have the next point, that is beyond the classroom. If you are having a classroom-based teaching or the learning, then it becomes quite good. Means normally we think that learning is all about within the institute, within the class, but no. Extracurricular kind of things, or the as I told you, that the societies and the sort of clubs, these are very much important, because in classroom, in the lecture room, you only learn the bookish things. But the actual things, the hands-on practical, the hands-on projects that you make, those come alive in some sorts of club or societies. So that's why if there are some other things which are the clubs or the societies, then it becomes very much important. It gives you extra exposure. Additionally, if there are some other things related to sports and fitness, that is also very much important. You may join a gym or club, and you can go watch movies. And there are some other local volunteer programs might be there. So if you are joining some NSS or something like that, it might give you also some inner peace, self-satisfaction sort of thing. Then moving on, we have how to get around the town. So the town, the location is very much important. But in addition to the location, the transport is very much important. How you are well connected with the rest of the town, that is quite an important point, because might be the location is good, but there is no proper transport facility. It becomes an issue. So how frequently the transport facilities are offered by the university, that is a fair point. Additionally, if the university is not offering that, what are the other possibilities for you just to have some sort of transport from universities? Might be some public transport or some local or your own transport option, means some sort of a bicycle or motorcycle or something like that. Then you have the career success point. Ultimately, you are joining a course to polish your skills, but at the end of your course, you want to get hired. You want to take some handsome package, and you want to work for some specific firm or company which is having some good reputation. So that's why you need to see that what the past students, means the past batch students, are doing from that particular universities, where they are working, what sort of packages did they get, and additionally, what sort of different means core companies or the means non-core companies. That's another important point, because many times it's not important the package. It's important that how many people are working in their core fields from a particular university, means what sorts of companies are coming to the university. So these sort of things you should always consider before getting admission into a particular university. Then I think these are the different 9 points from the University of Waterloo article, and all the points are quite good. Now we move on to the last article for today's video. Already the video gone long bit, so sorry for that. We'll cover it fast. We are having some top factors to consider before choosing a college, and it is the University of South Florida. article. Okay, so here you are going to find that first point, that academic majors available. So obviously, what are the major subjects the academics is offering in a particular university? That is quite important, as we just saw the last article, that the choice of right subject is very much important. So the same point. Okay, choose your interesting subject. Then the affordable cost of attendance means when you are attending a particular university, the cost of attendance must be affordable. Obviously, if you are not taking off your finances, not taking care of your finances, as we just saw in the last article, then it is going to be difficult for you to sustain in a particular university. So always see and take care of your finances, and make sure that the cost is affordable just to attend the university program. Then we have the location. So we have already seen this particular point. Then location is important. See which particular weather or the kind of things you like, and whether the university is situated in similar sort of or not. Then we have the on-campus facilities and amenities. We have already seen this particular point also in the last article. So that is quite valid point. Then we have the student activities. As I told you, that different clubs and the societies must be there in a particular university, and as more number of the kind of clubs and societies, that's better. Then we have the career services. Some of the additional career services might be there just to make you suitable candidate for a particular kind of job. So if you are having some, for example, there are some dedicated marine coaching facilities in a particular university, or some third-party services are being provided. Additionally, they are providing you some army coaching sort of things in a particular university. They are giving you a kind of additional diploma course in a particular university. So these are some of the perks that you can have with respect to career services. Okay, they may give you some sort of consultation programs, they may give you some sort of psychological support, they may give you some sort of training programs just to fulfill the kind of things you are lacking in your resume. So all these are career services. That's quite important. Okay. Then how do you feel at home in the campus? So it is again important that your feel is quite important. So that's all from this particular article of University of South Florida, and I hope that most of the points are covered in this particular video. If you didn't like anything or we did miss something, then please do comment below and let us know. We'll definitely try to incorporate your suggestions and try to improve the future videos. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.